All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I'm pretty sure this is the last foliar feeding video of the year. I got two different recipes. One for a little more broad acre. The beans are more in that R3 heading into R4 stage. And these beans back here, the non-GMO, are in R4 going into R5. We got a couple little different scenarios there. And so we got a couple different recipes. Let's go to the R3 beans first. So it looks like a lot, but really it's not. You're covering a little over 100 acres in one batch. But off of our testing, so we got AEA's Accelerate, which is a potassium, calcium, manganese type product. So that's in that drum. And then all these other jugs are between Conklin and AEA. I like both companies because I feel both companies give you a very high quality product. But we've got our copper, iron, zinc, calciums, boron is a lot of that as well as sugar products and sugar products. Plus, we'll add some of the source to it. And one jug of molybdenum to complement the molybdenum in here, because there is a tiny, like a 0.001. I mean, it's such a minuscule amount, but you only need such a minuscule amount. So we needed one jug to finish our recipe. So this is all for 100 acres. And so it really isn't that much product. And again, the goal is to just give that plant its best life, is to fix some deficiencies that it's having. And will it correlate to yield every time? We don't know. Maybe it just helps be a little more resistant to pests or whatever. But we're giving it a try to give it its best life. We don't need a drop of rain. We need lots of snow so I can have fun, but we don't need a drop of rain until next spring after the crops are in. We're very good on moisture. Weed control is looking good. Might have to cultivate one more time. That crop is looking stupendous. It's lacking some nodulation, and so we don't want to throw a ton of nitrogen out there and interfere with that, the plant eating its own nitrogen kind of deal. But we want to throw something out there. If we are lacking a little nitrogen, let's throw a little something out there, like a little side dish or a snack, so it can stay full while still hunting. So you know what I mean? So it's never lacking anything. We got Coron from Helena with a touch of boron. We're gonna do 1 gallon of that per acre. And then of course we got our potash. You guys love it when I have that magic marker written potash. It really makes a lot of guys wonder what's really going on. And then we have a couple other products here. Everything has a purpose and a function. There is no just throwing stuff at it. And so like with the potash and the nitrogen, think about that plant is filling them pods. It's trying to inhale everything it can right now to put into them seeds for reproduction. And so it's eating a massive amount of potassium and nitrogen. And so we got Exceed, which is our humic acid, and some sugarcane sugars. Our Revitalizer is a micro mix, very similar to the independent jugs that we're gonna mix up for the big tank mix. Very similar program that's going on there. Ignite is another sugar with a fulvic acid and then some seaweed extract. And then of course we will have our source product, which will help free up NPK from the soil. And so with any luck, that crop will be lacking nothing. I might have to cultivate one more time, I'm not sure. But even still, that's just going to put more oxygen into the soil. And so fairly simple mix with the nitrogen and the source that are still in the shop. Very common sense, based on plant physiology or demands. And so let's get this loaded up so we can get out there and see what that looks like. Well, they're not bad looking. They're getting tall, they're just not bushing over. You can see all the little sprouts. So for safety, I will probably cultivate this one more time. Probably be a week before we get here, trying to get ready for the farm show. But you look at the tires, they're easily knee high. Right here we're next to the woods, so it's not uncommon to see a lot of beans ate off the top. A lot of ladybug activity. That's kind of nice to see. But we got pods coming right to the top of our canopy. You got a potential, 4 or 5 right there, 2 more right there. If we peel that open, we got pods. Nice thick cluster of pods everywhere. That's what we want to see, and so that's why we're trying to. It ain't often we get pods coming out the top of the canopy like this, and so I'll leave some checks throughout some of the fields on this stuff. Next year we might get a little more scientific, and but yeah, this is kind of exciting to see pods. I mean, you have 3 bean pods right to the top. That is fun. So probably not the greatest crop in the world. I mean, look at that. You got a cluster of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 3 bean pods right here in a cluster, and a couple more. I'm just excited. Like I said, grading on a curve. There's a lot of people that will poo-poo this, but for me, my context, my area, I'm proud of this crop, especially a non-GMO field this clean. There's some random stuff. There's some random spots where some stuff is coming through, but non-GMO, graded on a curve in this area. This is one of the nicer looking fields. I tend to do okay on really struggling years. When years are easy is when I make mistakes. I don't get that, but okay, whatever. So let's keep feeding and get this field done. I'm getting very excited for this crop. We're a long ways off from the combine, but I'm getting excited. Well, here's the other field. So you can see we're kind of in a tough spot right here. This is kind of where some water damage was. So we got some really good looking beans, then a slight dip, then some good looking beans, and then you hit the real wet spot up there, and then coming out of the wet spot, you can see it's just some gorgeous beans down there. And that's just kind of how it's going to be this year. You're not going to win on every square inch, but we still got a good looking stand, minus where you have a bad look. We still got a good potential. So these are that much further behind, so they're just getting going on the pod set and that kind of stuff. So Japanese beetles have been out here. They cause a little bit of damage, but nothing major, and so it's mostly cosmetic or irritating. Not enough for me to come out with a spray to kill them if they're not detrimental. And so it'll be interesting to see after that spray what it does. I don't know if Japanese beetles really care about sugar in the plant. They're a pretty powerful bug, and so yeah. Well, let's get feeding. We got the 60 acres here, and then just on the south we'll load up with the volunteer and kill that volunteer corn. I'm excited to see some average looking beans. Can we really do anything for these? It'll be interesting to see. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for watching today. I appreciate you coming with. Now we just have to wait for the year to end and the combine to run to see, was it worth my effort? What do I have to do better next year to keep moving to the next level of management, to be not necessarily a big yield, but a better profit? And hopefully all my work this year pays off. It sure brought these fields to life, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. If I would have not done what I did, I can guarantee you we know what these beans would look, and they wouldn't have been looking like this. We do have a few Japanese beetles moving in. Look at, he lifts his leg like he's gonna kick me back. He's Japanese beetles. It's not racist to say he was gonna tell me my kung fu is no good. Lots of volunteer corn out here. This was a field that was a complete disaster last year from the drought. A lot of cobs went through the corn head. A lot of cobs were under the corn head. We did put volunteer in the tank. We got 60-day harvest interval. And I don't think we're going to be, I mean, it's the middle of August. We're not doing beans in the middle of October. Nope. And so we'll easily clear that 60 days. But it should clean this field up, and this field should become something of a thing of beauty, as they say. And I'm excited. I'm excited. This field, like I said, was going to be 100% prevent plant in my mind, and we come out here and it's 100% of a normal year planted. We planted the exact same patterns that we would in a normal year. So I don't know how to explain that one to you, but other than strange things happen, yeah. So there we go. If I have anything left over, there is a field down the road I can run out. It's got a couple of grass spots out by the blacktop I can run out the clethodome on. Things have really, I'll tell you what, the last week, everybody's crops around here in the last week have absolutely just taken off and are looking spectacular. And I hope everybody in the area just has a bin busting year. One, to help make up for the price, and two, we need a victory up here. And it's been a few years since the whole neighborhood has been able to just rally around a celebration, and so that's kind of fun. When you're, you know, it's a whole lot more fun to be messaging all your neighbors and being like, you know, awesome, versus like, oh yeah, guess what that field did kind of thing. And so there we go. So all right guys, thanks for watching, and we'll get you on the next one.